Hey everyone, Jimmy Graham with RCGroups.com, and today we're going to talk about the Eachine Assassin 180. This is part 2. The first part, I had just received the Assassin, opened it up, and I went through and looked at all the things that you get with this top end, ready to fly unit. And so since then, time has passed and the weather cleared up, and I was able to head out to the local multi-rotor FPV race club that we have here in Nashville, Tennessee. I took the little 180 with me, and I thought I would talk about my experience flying it there, and then we'll talk about some of the just aspects of all the things that you get inside and how those things worked out for me. So here it is. It's the 180. It has a carbon fiber frame, very nice, and it has the interesting omnidirectional video transmitter tail, which I believe is in the picture. They do it like this, so it looks like a scorpion tail, and this is kind of scorpion looking if you think of it that way. One thing, when it shipped, the GPS unit was loose. So here's the GPS unit here on the top plate, and I went online and found out they were putting it on the back underneath this carbon fiber tab right here, which made no sense to me. And I also read that it was upside down. So what you want is the wafer to be on top, and you want the little round dot to be on top. Now, I put it on the part of the Assassin that says GPS with some double stick tape so it wouldn't come off again, but it still has a carbon fiber piece on top. It didn't affect my flight, but maybe it could be better if this thing was gone, or maybe if this was mounted somewhere else. I just didn't want to get too far away from center line, and I know other people have mounted it here. So just a thought, just a concern. Let's go over the good stuff first, and then we'll talk about the issues that I did have. Flew great right out of the box. What I like to do when I get something like this, I don't want to hook a USB up and try to update anything unless they tell me to, but I like to fly it out of the box so that I have the same experience you're going to have, and that is exactly what I did. Charged the battery, going to talk about that, and got out on the FPV course. And the thing that was really surprising was I was flying the course. I was making the big gates, the little gates, whipping it around the flags, and one of the better pilots there, top 3 or 5 pilot, Jeff Victory, was out there just cooking it with his quad. And so he, after I came in, he said, "Man, that thing's really fast for a little quad." I had no idea I was going fast. I will take that compliment and I'll give it to the quad itself for being fast. So I did crash it twice. And the first time, I don't think was on purpose. The second time, I knew my video was going long and I was headed for a gate. And I was like, I'm not going to make this gate. So I just wanted to see how it would take it. The first time, and now we can talk about the battery. So this comes with a proprietary battery that has these little tabs right here. And they fit into the back side. Now, like I said, the whole unit's carbon fiber, but the base is this really thin plastic. And the other thing is the way it goes on is you simply squeeze the back to open it up. So I'm not squeezing, and I can still open it up. So when I crash it, and I'll plug it in here. So when I crashed it, it ejected out the back. There's the front headlights. The front headlights don't turn on unless you're initialized. But the first crash, this door flew open, the battery flew out, and then this piece broke off. So this is held on by a single metal bar in the front. There's a little hinge right here. And so what we did is we pulled it out, straightened it up, put it back on, and we were able to get flying again. So that was awesome. The second time, the bay door was open again, but I did not eject the battery, and I broke a prop on the second crash. So these were not like crashes. These were not like, these were full on slamming into things. So I will say this, the frame held up. I broke a prop. That's to be expected. That's how it's going to work. And but the feet, the bottom side, I just don't know how long this part's going to last. Maybe something to look at to recreate, or maybe mod yourself. Okay, so let's talk about the battery. I know that Banggood said don't sweat the battery. Tells you the charge level. Don't sweat the battery. These are not that expensive. But I still have two problems there. One is I couldn't find a price or where to order a battery. I actually went out and looked around a lot and didn't, maybe it's right in front of me and you know where it's at, but I personally could not find out where to buy an extra battery. And the other thing is I don't want to use the charger that comes with the Eachine. I don't want to use this to charge my LiPo. I especially don't want to use it if I have 4 of these LiPos. I want to charge it on my charger. And so with this proprietary end, I can't do that either. Now, the good news is I did get word back that they are talking to the factory that makes the Assassin about creating a plug. And what I would assume would happen is this plug would go into this proprietary part and then maybe have a JST out, and then you can put your own LiPo in here. But even then, you've got to consider how to keep the LiPo on the board itself. So that is a negative for sure. The positive is it took a crash. It flew great out of the box. I have no problem with the Eachine i6 transmitter that it comes with. It's all set up. The transmitter will tell you if your battery voltage is low. It'll vibrate and give an audio alert. That's a plus. Good deal. So I also like the tail a lot. I'm hoping that this works just as good as anything else, because I would love to start using these on some other machines. So then we come to the goggles. So I had these out, and we had some people that were there that were new to the hobby, and they said that they had actually ordered these, and I'm pretty sure they did order them because they're only 68 bucks, 69 bucks, which is a great price for a set of goggles. And really, I've had a lot of high-end, medium-end goggle and head play units. You just need something that gets the broadcasted signal to your eyes, and this will do the job. Now, if you're me and you have eyes like mine, which on the head plays I have to double the magnifiers on there to make them work with my eyes. These did not work for me. So if I held these up like this, they work great. If I put them on my face, they were blurry and done. So I actually didn't use them. I did bring them out, power them up, and Jason used them for a little bit, and they're good for what they do. I would definitely personally hang on to these and use these as a secondary unit if I was out somewhere and a kid or somebody else wanted to ride along with me as I flew. They come with these rechargeable lithium polymer 9-volt looking batteries. I don't think the charge lasts very long on these based on my experience. I know I fully charged them. I know I left them there until they said they were charged, and then I left them there a little longer. But they didn't last very long, so there's that to also be aware of. What else? I believe that's it. So it's a good flyer. Some design flaws, I think, down here. Not flaws, but weaknesses might be a better word. When I crashed, I did pop off one of the lenses off of my LED. Now, there are people that say these lights are too bright and they blind other pilots, so maybe losing the lens isn't a horrible thing. I think I lost something else. Yeah. They provide these antenna tubes for your receiver, and I blew one off. That definitely is going to have to be fixed before I go back out so I don't chop it off with a blade. The stock blades, they say, are brittle. I guess that's all a reference as to what kind of blade you're used to. You can buy whatever blades you want to fly on a unit like this. So now what we're going to do is jump out to the field, and that reminds me of one more thing. The camera angle. The camera is movable, and of course you want it so you can fly forward at an angle. I think the angle's a little shallow. Can I get that good in there? I think it should kick back a little more. The more kick back, the faster you're going to go. The other thing is it's not solid. So whatever it is you decide you want it to live at, which I'm going to assume is full kickback, you might want to CA that in there, because you'll see in my video that's about to come up, it's very wavy, and I think it's from vibrating in this loose frame here that makes it wavy. That was kind of tricky as well. So there you go, my honest opinion of the Eachine 180 Assassin. We'll go out to the field, we'll fly the course, and we'll see how that looks. All right, so here we are at the Music City, what are they? The Music City Multi-Rotor Club. The aspect ratio on this might be a little funky. I was trying to get all of the OSD information on my screen. So what I was utilizing was a monitor, and that actually has dual diversity in, as well as a DVR built in. So I was DVRing this directly from the unit itself. This is the first time I've actually seen this footage. So this was not during a race, and there were actually some people out on the field. So instead of flying the course exactly as planned, I was just running around trying to make some gates and not run into people. Those people right there. The on-screen display you're seeing there is stock. That's what it comes with. That's pretty robust for stock OSD. So there you go. Very first time I'd ever flown this thing. Very first time I ever flew this course, as a matter of fact. And it was out there doing it. And I'm coming up to the guys. That's why I turned it around there. I didn't want to make them nervous. I had no problem whipping it around. Now, I'm by no means an FPV racing expert. I'm actually a raw beginner, might be the best way. I've flown FPV for a couple of years now, and I have flown quads for a little while. I'm still more comfortable with airplanes than I am with quadcopters. But as you can see, I jumped right on board here and was able to fly it, stay on top of it, and shoot through these gates. And you're actually viewing it through the goggles that came with the unit. You can see the on-screen display. So you can see the reception. You know, of course, when I kick it around one side or the other, I get a little break. And you can see the waviness I'm talking about. This is just vibration coming in from the props. And then you can also see how the camera reacts to heading towards the sun, away from the sun, towards the ground. Looks fine to me, and it was fine in my goggles. And then recording it with a secondary unit. I could record it. I could put an onboard camera. It can handle onboard cameras. But I like to record the actual video feed that's coming into the goggles. So you see what I see while I'm actually flying. And not some high-res version of what I see. Oh, I guess I decided not to shoot that one. I've got to think the end is nigh. Let's see. There we go. All right. That's our in-flight footage. So this is my overview of the Assassin 180. You know, I really love the Eachine 250. Great quad. And this is just a smaller version of that. Nice carbon fiber frame, nice motors, really get around a track, easy to fly and set up immediately. Just crack it open, plug everything in, charge your batteries, put on your props, and you're done. My concerns are the proprietary battery. That has no functional negativity on the unit. It's just I would like to have a better way of having multiple batteries. And then the really only complaint I have, I guess, too, is the lightweight landing gear and bay door where the battery lives. And I would love to solidify the way the camera is mounted onto the frame so that I can get, or maybe not solidify, maybe figure out a way to get the camera on there so it's not so wavy while I'm flying. Other than that, as you can see, flew great, flew fast, shooting gates, taking hits. It's the Assassin 180. Thanks to everyone from Banggood for sending this to RC Groups. I'm Jim Graham, and you've been watching RCGroups.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button because there's a lot of cool stuff that we put out on a weekly basis. Thank you very much.